Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name is Wendy Wing. I'm doing a psychic tarot reading for you, tuning into the day's energy, seeing what divine messages of guidance come through. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. All right. What's the overall energy of today's reading? Thank you. What's hidden? What's hidden from the viewer? Thank you. Outcome and advice. Wonderful. All right, let's turn these cards over, see what we're working with here. Woof. Turn these over. Oh boy. Okay. All right, the overall energy of today's reading is Temperance in reverse, Sagittarian energy. An impatience, out of balance. Something's out of balance here. I just heard something's whack. Something's whack, yo. So let's find out what's whack. Something's out of balance. There's an impatience here. Who's in this temperance energy? Who's out of balance? Okay. A Knight of Wands challenged by the Star card and the Queen of Cups in reverse. Not only is she in reverse, but she's got her back turned as well. Interesting. So those cards came out as a challenge to a Knight of Wands. Something's out of balance. A Knight of Wands is out of balance. Their challenge is to heal something. Heal a wound. This feels internal, an internal imbalance that needs to be healed. Alrighty, let's keep digging. What's this wound? Queen of Cups in reverse. It feels around being herself. I'm saying her because it's Queen of Wands or Queen of Cups. This person, no gender right now as I'm perceiving, but there's some type of internal wounding around how they see themselves, and something very heart-centered is coming up, an imbalance to be healed. Okay. Feels like this is your energy, viewer, that you're in this Knight of Wands energy, going after what you desire, world building, following your highest excitement. There's something you've been working on. So not only just following your highest excitement, it feels like you've really been working on something, focused, dedicated, something maybe you've even achieved mastery around, a 10,000 hour type of mastery. Again, is that following your desires, following your highest excitement, and then Nine of Cups. There's a lot of blessings coming in. But something, so it feels like things are going really well. So what is this imbalance? And what is it that needs to be healed in that heart space? Okay. Okay, I got it. Seven of Pentacles reversed, World card reversed, Three of Cups reversed. So what I'm getting here is, whoever I'm talking to, viewer, you have achieved a lot. There's this level of expertise here. You figured out how to follow your highest excitement, that your excitement has everything in it. If you are drawn to it, like following that spark. And when that spark dies, follow another spark. Keep following that spark. It feels like that spark is helping you find what you want. And it's leading you, has led you to happiness. A lot of blessings coming in. So what I'm perceiving here, what I'm reading in this reading so far, is that on a individual level, you have achieved quite a bit. What's coming up is a wound around others. Your relationship with yourself, it feels like you're doing really well, but your relationship with others has an imbalance, has some type of wounding that's coming up to be healed. There's some story that you've been telling about yourself, your life, that you have shifted. It feels like you've changed your story, how you perceive yourself in your world. This feels like there's this energy of a toxic family, toxic environment. It doesn't feel like you're investing in this group any longer. Feels like you recognize that these people are toxic. Why is this coming up? High Priestess reverse, Ace of Cups reverse. There's no love here. It feels like maybe the love and care, maybe you thought that this was love in this group, but it's not. There's something around groups, around family. Feels like you figured out a lot of your stuff, but there's still some type of unhealed wound between you and groups, relating to groups, trusting groups, feeling supported by groups. Feels like you've healed a lot of your individual issues, and wow, blessings coming your way. Not quite sure about the High Priestess in reverse energy in regard to this group. This feels like a group that just keeps repeating. Doesn't feel like you're invested in this group. It feels like your success has something to do with your ability to detach and no longer be in this group, to individuate yourself. So why is this group energy coming up? This is more about an imbalance in a group. Eight of Cups, hard to walk away from. Masks are coming off. There's a lot of this repeating cycles, people unable to really see, being mentally stuck, unable to really perceive what's going on in this group. And this feels like groupthink. I feel frustrated reading this energy. because there's all this energy with the World card in reverse and the Fool card in reverse. These are groups where there's no change, there's no evolution. It's just repeating the same cycle. Toxic. This isn't a loving energy. There's no intuition in this group. I don't think intuition it's not only not welcome, but it's this type of group mentality. Intuition is a threat, honestly. Intuition, an individual utilizing their individual guidance system, is not welcome in this space, because this is groupthink. It's hard to walk away from, especially if this is the only thing you've ever known, and if this is like family, or you grew up in this type of energy, in this type of environment. There's something here around an incredible unhappiness in this group, but they're just so like blind. This has like blind allegiance type of feeling, just repeating patterns no matter what. Truth, it's like I'm knocking, like, is anybody hearing the truth? And it just feels like this group is impervious to truth. They're stuck in groupthink. That's where this imbalance is coming from. It's interesting that the first thing that came up is your energy viewer, and it feels like your match for this energy, your part, is something within you. Why'd that come up otherwise? Why did we see how successful you are following your highest passion, following your excitement, working on something, things working out? Your energy feels good because you're an individual. You're independent and you're following your highest excitement, so you're attuning to your guidance system, and it's leading you to what's working and blessings coming in for you. Okay. All right. Thank you for those of you who are still there, letting me work through this messaging. So what I'm getting here is there's an imbalance. And there's an imbalance in the force. And it looks like I'm talking to somebody who has learned how to navigate as an individual. You're not in groupthink. You're following your highest excitement. I think it has been a challenge for you to heal this aspect. There we go. Groupthink, pleasing, people pleaser, just trying to make everybody happy, being a part of a group, to the detriment of your independence, of your individuality. You have learned the lessons, done the work, followed your excitement out of these type of environments. That's what it is. Okay. And so the overall energy is talking about this imbalance that's in groups that are stuck in this repetitive, no new information, it's so toxic, and it feels culty. It feels there's an adherence to a false reality here. Even when shown the truth of reality, they just stay with this definitely has die with a lie. Programming, This is not love. This is not a loving environment. There's emotional attachments, why people stay in this. It's like they don't feel like they have any choice, even though things are so unhappy and get more and more unhappy. They just keep repeating cycle. It feels like you, whoever you are, viewer, you've escaped from, absconded, left this very toxic groupthink environment. And how you did it was amazing. It feels like you care enough about yourself to be an individual, to have to take the heat from this group. It takes a lot of courage to get out of this type of group think, to trust yourself enough to seek that light of the truth, even if it's an uncomfortable truth. Whew, wow, interesting. All right, let's move on into what's hidden. We've got the Knight of Cups in reverse, and then Lovers and Ten of Swords reversed. The Knight of Cups in reverse feels like a false illusion, a delusion that these people are kind of all sharing. Who's the Knight of Cups in reverse? Death. Okay, there's an ending to whoever. This Knight of Cups in reverse feels like the leader, the one creating the false reality that everybody is clinging to. There's some type of ending with the Death card. The ending of the person. It doesn't have to be literal. I'm not predicting someone's death here, but it is a definite ending. For someone who's created this false reality. Four of Swords, heralding a time of healing. This ending for this person creates healing for these people. For everybody, really. What's the Lovers and Ten of Swords in reverse about? What's the Lovers and... another a Ten of Swords in reverse. And now we've got the Ten of Wands. Ooh, with the Empress. Ooh. Okay. With the tens coming out, with the Fool card in the World, with the Death card, this is like talking about endings, cycles. It looks like you've had a painful ending. There's a painful ending here. I'm hearing fortune after difficulty. So it feels like there's a painful ending, but you oh. Okay, the Lovers was also originally called the Choice. It feels like you've started making different choices, loving yourself enough to make choices. And there was some type of painful ending that was happening for you. So you could step into your divine feminine. And this feels a bit like a burden, yes, but look, he's grew these wands, cut them down, and now he's carrying them back home where he can sell them, taking them to town. So it feels like there's some type of harvest that's coming in. And it does feel exhausting, but it feels like you're almost there. you're bringing something in, you're bringing it to home. So I get that energy. It feels like you have left some environment by making different choices, and it feels very painful to leave that environment. Purposely made painful so people don't leave. So people don't, because it is such a treacherous journey. If you leave this environment, it feels like they're going to make it as painful as possible for you, so other people don't follow you. But the difficulty with this is it looks like you've had a glow up by leaving this environment. I don't know if you're really seeing yourself clearly, viewer. I think you're seeing that you're following your highest excitement. There's things you're working on. You're definitely happy. I don't know if you can really, it's in what's hidden. I don't know if you really perceive the change that you've made within yourself since you left this environment, a toxic environment. It looks like you left that environment, and as painful as it was to leave that environment, what a glow up. Anything else about this, the Knight of Cups in reverse? Oh, well, that's interesting. The Knight of Cups shows up upright. With the King of Wands, but then the Eight of Wands in reverse. Okay, you are immune to someone who sells you a false reality. You've definitely learned the lesson. You're not jumping in to some, that sounds wonderful. That does sound good. But you're not hooking onto a feeling and following an idea, false reality. Oh, you've learned a lot. Okay. You're just not anybody who's tries to sell you some false reality. This feels like someone moving in very quickly. Like they've already got everything set. That's what this says. They've already got everything. They just now need you as a pawn, a piece. I think you're tired of being in other people's projections, false realities, delusions. You're interested in reality. Someone putting in the work, the time, slowly. It isn't some false reality, some illusion or delusion. It feels like, you're just immune to that type of, that fantasy. Someone trying to sell you on a fantasy. All right. Anything else? Wow. That 10 of Wands. I was looking, so what's happening with this Divine Feminine Empress? This is a public glow up. Very public. It feels like if this hasn't happened already, it feels like this harvest, your glow up, very public. And it feels like there's an ending in groupthink, people in a groupthink type of environment, delusions, illusions, false realities. There's something about your success also, your glow up, that doesn't go with the story of this group, of what has been said about you. All right. Let's move on. And the outcome, jeez. Devil, Ace of Cups in reverse again. And Two of Cups reversed, Fool card reversed. I think you are immune to illusions, delusions. I think you are waiting for the right group, the right feeling that's not a delusion. There's also this energy in the air, in the astrology, something about looking for saviors. I think people are looking for a savior, and it looks like you are turning to yourself instead of giving your power away to someone else. These are false flags. They're not real. They're not really helpful. They're people who sell delusions, illusions. It feels like, just energetically as I'm tuning in, it feels like I show them this group, light of truth, and it makes the group very uncomfortable and tighten up so the truth can't come in, because the truth doesn't jive with their story, with their delusion. And so I'm shocked that there's not a tower. This feels like a false reality. And you can't negotiate, you can't talk truths. It feels so difficult to connect and communicate in any way, because they're in a false reality. They've got their own ideas, and it feels like a lot of fear that keeps them closing the ranks even tighter. So it feels like the delusion's getting even stronger. This isn't love. This is about control and manipulation with the devil energy. Feels like the more fear that's drummed up, the tighter this group coalesces. It's not a loving group. It's about fear and control, manipulation. Very toxic, wildly toxic. So, karma, luck. I feel like you have taken control of your wheel of fortune, and you're no longer in this group think, and you're doing your thing. What a success. You look great. I think clearing, there's something about this energy, you don't even want to attune to it that much, because it's just that toxic. Fear. They're co-creating with a lot of fear. I see this as love, the fabric of the universe. And so Ace of Cups in reverse is fear, the lack of love. There's a lot of destabilization here. Oh, 2 Taurus cards coming out in reverse. A lack of stability. Break from tradition. What's this? Broken contract. Break from tradition. You know, upright Taurus energy is stubborn, bullheaded, like a juggernaut, refusing to change course. But in reverse, both of these energies in reverse, it feels like there's a potential here for a break of this mind think. Okay, it looks like people are questioning. Wow. Okay, what I'm seeing in these groups, there are people who are in control of these groups, mind think, that they kind of want to see how much they can get people to abandon themselves and stay with the group. Boy, this is real groupthink. No individuality here, no truth. It's die with the lie, die with the delusion, die with the illusion. You gotta risk it all. It feels like the leaders are like, you need to fully abandon yourself and dedicate yourself to this group to make it work. Jeez. There's something here. It feels like some people are starting to become wary of. I'm hearing the high price. There's some type of cracks to the delusion. It's getting real. Something is getting really real. And there are people questioning from inside these groups, inside themselves. Some judgment, waking up. Because the type of things that I'm tuned into are nefarious, treacherous, soul crushing, honestly. And I feel like there are some people who kind of peeking up like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, so it feels like from inside the groups, there's a few, this is getting too real for some people. It's taken a lot. But there are people waking up. Anything else that would help this waking up? Oh, I like that. Even that question feels lovely. Okay, so if there are people, excuse me, I'm talking to somebody who's already woken up, gotten yourself out of toxic groups and out of that group think at quite a hefty cost on a personal level, because you had to go solo. You had to leave a group situation. Even though it's toxic, at least you had support from a toxic group, but still support. So it looks like by you going on your own, being willing to see things, like your own navigation system, you're not allowing others to tell you what's right and wrong anymore. And by you following your spark, your desire, you have made really good choices and taken control of your destiny. After a very brutal ending, leaving this environment, you've had quite a glow up and success. And I think that you're not aware how many people have seen this. So I feel like you understand being a part of this toxic group, what that's like, and you also recognize what it's like having to journey out of that painfully by yourself. There are others that are waking up that want to leave these toxic groups, but they don't have the courage that you had to go through what you've gone through. So it feels like there's a potential here for all of us to even just imagine pathways of light and enlightenment for these people to follow. Even energetically, may those who seek truth and clarity find their passageway and their pathway. I'm not feeling that you have the message here is, viewer, you need to go back in and help these people leave or anything like that. But energetically, if you do want to be a cooperative component to expansion, there's something about shifting and creating space so people can change, so people can evolve. You've changed, you evolved, you came out of a toxic system where chances are you were out of balance and toxic, had a lot of toxic traits that you had to unlearn. And so how can we create compassion so others, you just energetically, it doesn't mean that you have to be boots on the ground, but how can we, the first step feels energetic, how can we invite and create space and hope for all of those who want to seek clarity and truth and come out of these systems? May they find their way. Feels like that is helpful. Wow, what an interesting message. All right, thank you for letting me sift through these messages. Absolutely beautiful. I feel inspired just kind of here to maybe soften here and create and just imagining people finding their way and with greater ease and finding help and recovery faster. And yeah. All right, that's your reading. Hope that's helpful. Take care.